Oh my glob. I should have mulched before this happened. I don't really know what tree was so generous as to spread its seed everywhere. I don't know if you can see it, but it is everywhere, all over the place. Oh look, there's one now, just kind of floating down. So, we've got a lot of these seeds everywhere, and they're definitely going to be a problem. So, even though it's a little late, better late than never, and I just collected a bunch of pine needles from this pine tree that we have in the backyard. So I'm going to at least mulch it from anything else that might spread its gifts all over the garden. So here I am using pine needles because it's freely available to me. Note that mulching with pine needles won't acidify your soil, so I suggest looking into other alternative additives if you're trying to lower your soil pH. Pine trees grow best in slightly acidic soil, so if you suspected the soil around your pine trees is acidic, it could be other factors. Soil pH can be influenced by climate, rainfall, and pollution. I put a resource link regarding that in the bio. And in case anyone wanted to know, despite the jagged terrain, I still had a slug problem. I hope this prevents me having to do too much weeding in the future, even though I got all those white things are seeds. And that's under that now. So I'm just finishing the mulch on the other bed here. Mulching my garden did help suppress weeds and save me some labor time. A key point is to mulch a 2 to 3 inch layer to have the best chance at controlling weeds. Mulching has other advantages like retaining soil moisture, and when it eventually breaks down, it will add nutrients to the soil. I implore you to research different mulches and their benefits and limitations before applying them to your garden. And here's how my beds look now with the pine needle mulch. So the little cinder blocks that you see on the ground are holding the soil in the beds because I don't have anything to hold it together, so I used cardboard. The cardboard is of course disintegrating as it rains, so the soil is falling out, as you can see over there. So I've kind of just been using them to hold up the cardboard so that it just pulls the soil in, and it's working so far. I hope I don't have to replace it this season, but this is my first attempt at this. I don't plan on staying here for many years, so I don't want to make a huge project out of it and put something that's permanent. So this was my option. Here's an update on the super sugar snap peas that I planted with my roommate, and as you can see, they're flowering and they're happy to be alive. Look at those. Look at how thick that is. That's nice. They're happy. The ones over here that were eaten by the deer are still growing, but not as quickly, of course, because they got chomped. But it looks like they're doing very well. Here's a look at some of the plants that I'm growing on the side of the house. We have some coleus with some marigolds right there. And then there's millionaire eggplant that is an Italian sweet roasting. Those two are red racer tomatoes, and that is a black creme tomato. There's a lemon boy and the Cherokee purple, which is producing a cute little tomato right now. And then there's the pineapple tomato and another millionaire eggplant. And then I got 3 kinds of mint. We got mojito, orange, and pineapple. And then I got some Greek oregano, some thyme, creeping rosemary, and a basket full of strawberries, and another coleus with some marigolds. I wanted to keep them here because I wanted to have them close by the house in case I needed to protect them in case the temperature dropped, but they are going to stay in the 5 gallons. I feel a lot safer with them over here, and I can just drape the clear plastic over them at night if I feel like it's going to get too cold. so there's like the first ring, and then, can you see the second? It's so big. Ugh. My camera can't catch it all. Well, I'm going around and looking at all my tomato and pepper plants, and I'm checking them for bugs, and I'm also pinching off any of the suckers of the tomato plants. I found a couple aphids, females with wings, so it confused me because they normally don't have wings. I had to rip out a pepper plant because it had a leaf curl that looked like it was a virus, so I didn't want that to spread to any of my other plants. However, this one looks like its leaves are kind of curling into, I don't know if that's an abiotic factor or if it is a virus, so I'm just going to keep an eye on it and see how it develops. A bunch of suckers, and some of them I'll leave and some of them I'm going to pinch off. I've also found a bunch of spiders, which I've left alone, and I don't think I've seen any other beneficial insects thus far. It's important to regularly check your crops for any pests, diseases, or disorders so you can catch them early on. Peas are coming in. These little super sugar snap peas are producing now. Yay! Oh, there's so many. Look at these funky mushrooms I found in my bed. There's some over here too. My delicious bunching onions looking fabulous. These are some pretty flowers that I have in my garden. Some of them I potted up myself. I will list their names on the sides of the video in case anyone is interested in looking them up. What I've learned from my garden thus far is that I need to plant basil, cilantro, and parsley in clumps of its own kind because I learned that they grow better together. And that I need to prune my basil to get the most out of its production, and since it is an annual, how I prune it will determine the yield I'll be able to get from harvest. And I also learned that it's important to prune my tomatoes as well. I also learned not to top water with tap water. Mother Nature can top water because the water has been purified by the water cycle, but most household tap water has been treated with harsh chemicals, and that could potentially burn the foliage on our plants. In one of my horticulture classes, my teacher told us it was fungus and bacteria that is left on the leaf, and the water droplet provides like an ideal environment for it to grow and leave little dead spots after the water evaporates. Maybe if you have snow melt or spring water, you can compare it to using tap water, but I don't have either, so I avoid top watering. Getting water to the root zone is much more efficient anyways, especially if you have an irrigation system set up. Watering early in the morning has an advantage. It allows the water droplets on the plants to evaporate before the sun comes out, and this benefits pollinators like bees that start their shift at sunrise during the season, so an hour before sunrise is best. Mulching has helped me control weeds, so research different mulches, their limitations and benefits before applying them to your garden. You may have noticed that I put information like this on the screen in past videos. That refers to concepts of biodynamic farming, and I will be introducing those concepts in a later video, and I will put the link to that video here. That's it for this video. I hope I have inspired you to grow your own food if you're not already, and I look forward to learning more about gardening and horticulture as I develop a deeper relationship to the food that I grow and eat, and embracing my responsibility to the environment and the health of our planet. I hope that you'll join me in making the world a better place. Good luck with your gardens. Buy local, grow food not lawns, make gardening common knowledge by sharing what you've learned. May the force be with you, long live and prosper.